The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good evening, everybody. Bonsoir, madame and monsieur. It is time once again for Montreal Canadiens Hockey 1988-1989. We take you back to November 30th, 1988 for this one. The Habs and the Whales, Hartford Whalers, on a Wednesday night at the Al Red Sox fan Mall, Civic Center, Orange Julius, and Victoria's Secret. What's her secret? We don't know. No, the Hartford Civic Center for this one. The Habs lead the Adams division at 19-6-1. The Whale at 10-2. And as much as I'd like to play Brass Bonanza, I get a copyright strike if I do that. So I can't. The Whalers are in third place. They have 20 points on the year. They are fighting with Buffalo and Quebec for those last two playoff spots. Boston has moved into second, and Montreal well ahead here in the Adams division. This is game number 27 for them on the 88-89 season. For the Whalers, just game number 23. Imagine that. So other news and notes around the National Hockey League this 30th of November, 1988. The Quebec Nordiques have been sold by the Carling O'Keefe Brewery to, I forget who. Does it really matter? But it guarantees that they will stay in the city of Quebec and in Canada for another 5 years. And that's exactly how long they would stay, is 5 more years. Mario Lemieux is about to sign a long-term contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins, which will pay the center close to or maybe over Wayne Gretzky's $2 million a year salary U.S. So Lemieux, who in our replay has 52 points on the year to Gretzky's 50, and Gretzky's first year in Los Angeles, Lemieux about to be the highest paid player in the NHL as we head fast forward into the 90s. All right, it's 1 minute after 8. Our new streaming schedule, by the way, will be hockey Monday nights at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, Montreal, of course. Baseball Tuesdays and Thursdays at lunchtime on the East Coast, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And, of course, our primetime chatty game from 1949 will be Wednesday night at 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern. All right, so there you go. If you're ready, we are. Let's get to it. Let's play some hockey. As Retro Sports Network presents Montreal Canadiens Hockey 88-89, tonight brought to you from the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as the Habs play the Whale. And tonight's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Speaker, Spotify, that's what you put your plans into, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So how you doing, Forrest? And someone that used to be a concerned sub is rooting for the Whale. Let's meet the starting lineups for both of these teams. Bobby Smith is at center for Montreal. 11 goals, 21 assists, 32 points, 31 penalty minutes. On the left wing is Mats Naslund, 13 goals and 19 assists. He has 8 penalty minutes on the year. Mike Keane, 9 goals and 4 assists. The defenders, Chris Chelios with 5 goals and 24 assists, 69 penalty minutes and 5 fights, and Larry Robinson a goal and 10 assists on the year. Brian Hayward in the pipes for Montreal, a goals against average at .253 and a save percentage at .904. For the Whale, Ray Ferraro gets a start at center, 10 goals, 9 assists. Dave Tippett is on the left, 6 goals and 8 assists. And Kevin Dineen with 12 goals and 10 assists, 40 penalty minutes and 2 fights. Defensively, Sylvain Cote, 3 goals and 8 assists. And Dave Babich, 4 goals and 12 assists with 18 penalty minutes. And it's the beer and pizza dude, Mike Liut. Never stayed in his own darn net. .385 goals against average and a save percentage of .868. Coming up in the weeks ahead, another trip to Edmonton, the Bruins, and the Nordique. Game selected for as we move into December in our replay. So Ferraro, Dineen, and Tippett out there with Smith, Naslund, and Keane. Smith and Ferraro at the center. And we are underway. Won by Bobby Smith. Skates it into the Hartford zone. Over to Robinson. Robinson left side. Or right side. Winds and fires in the Ute. Gets a glove on it and will have a save in a hole. Just 19 seconds into the contest. So it'll be change for the Whale. Dean Evison at center. Kastelik and Jody Hull, the wingers. Randy Ladouceur and Ulfie Samuelsson on defense for Hartford, supposedly. Now it's the Francis line, taken by Smith and won by Smith. Francis breaks his stick. Keane behind the net. Tries to find Bobby Smith on the wing. Bobby between the dots. Shoots! Liut gets a pad on it. The rebound is controlled by Ladouceur, and here comes Hartford. Mcdermott over to Ulfie. Dumps it around for Mcdermott. Penalty coming up on Montreal. Anderson to Samuelsson. Dineen the extra attacker. Mcdermott behind the net. Hit by Keane.
Montreal penalty to number 26. Mats Naslund. 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalty. 1 minute 7 seconds.
Now, the one thing that we can't do when the team that you coach is on the road is know for sure who's on the ice for the Whales. So that's why I don't like to do road games, but we haven't done a Hartford game in a while. So supposedly on the power play, Ray Ferraro, Tippett, and Wilson with Cote and Jennings. Defensively for Montreal, Guy Carbonneau, Shane Corson, Rick Green, and Petr Svoboda. Hartford 6th in the NHL in the power play, 24%. Montreal 7th on the kill at 79. Ferraro and Carbonneau take the face-off. Won by Carbonneau and cleared all the way down to Tippett. As Hartford starts their first rush. Tippett up the wing, dumps it around for Wilson. Wilson has control. To Ferraro, back to Wilson behind the net. Wilson over to Cote. Left side, winds and fires. Rebound given up by Hayward. Loose puck knocked away by Rick Green, only to Wilson. Wilson skates it behind the net. Now to Ferraro. Left side down the circle. He fires and scores! Da 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 da.
Hartford power play goal by Ray Ferraro, his 11th of the season, assisted by Kerry Wilson, and by Sylvain Cote. Time of the goal 2 minutes 17 seconds.
Da 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 da. There, you got your brass bonanza. So Ferraro just kind of slapped it past. Don't do that again? Okay, I will. For his 11th of the year, Wilson and Cote with the assists, their 5th and 9th respectively, and the Whale go up 1-0. So first line out for Montreal, Smith, Naslund, and Keane. Svoboda. Actually, we're going to change defense here. Mike Lawler and Eric Desjardins. The computer tells me Evison, Hull, and Kastelik with Ladouceur and Samuelsson. Face-off is won by Francis this time. Mcdermott dumps it around for Anderson. Has the puck. Now to Jennings. Back to Francis. Joe Quenneville has it now. Quenneville, left D. Long shot on Hayward is a save. The puck is loose. Desjardins and Mcdermott have it. Won by Desjardins to Lawler. And Montreal tries to skate it out. Keane over the line to Naslund. To Lawler. Long drive, left side, blocked by Joe Quenneville. Down to Mcdermott. Montreal Hartford changes to Evison. Now a delayed penalty again by Montreal. Evison, a wrister. That's wide. Touched by Desjardins. And Lawler gets called for the slash.
Montreal penalty to Mike Lawler. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty. 3 minutes 31 seconds.
In real life, after losing to Hartford, Montreal went on a 10-2-2 run to go from 4th place to 1st. So the Whale have beaten Montreal in real life. And can I look here? No. Apparently not. I was trying to go with... Trying to find if there was like a team versus team, but not there. Carbonneau and Corson out in the face-off, and Ronnie Francis out for the Whale. Won by Carbonneau, clears it all the way down for Ulfie. And again, Hartford starts the rush. Francis dumps it around. Anderson picks it up to Dave Babbage. Babbage, left side. Shoots wide of the net. Carbonneau will play it safe. 1:20 to go on the penalty to Lawler. Robinson dumps it around and all the way down. Quenneville will touch it up. Habs change. Walter and McPhee, Green and Svoboda on the ice. Both teams change. Hartford. Ferraro over the line. He comes across offside. And the first Merry Christmas greetings between these two teams. A little shoving after the whistle. 42 seconds left to go in the power play. Hartford does not have a shot. They have 3 in the game and a 1-0 lead. 15-11 to go first period. We're told it's going to be Francis. It is with Anderson and Deneen. Montreal wins the draw. McPhee clears it all the way down to Dave Tippett. 23 seconds to go on the power play for Hartford. Tippett hit by Svoboda. Hartford thinks that Svoboda hit him too hard. Lawler will get it. They change up on the fly. Lawler hit by Wilson. Hartford has it at center. It will be... I can't see who's got the... Oh, Tippett. What will they do? They get it over the... They change up. Tippett to Wilson. To Samuelson. Back to Wilson. Hit by Bobby Smith. Montreal forces a turnover in their zone. Habs skated out the other way. Keane in the Hartford line. Penalty coming up on Lawler and Samuelson for roughing.
Montreal penalty to Mike Lawler. 2 minutes for roughing. Hartford penalty to ULF Samuelson. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 6 minutes 19 seconds.
ULF Samuelson. It's Ulfie. So Ulfie and Lawler get into it. Scribbling out for the face-off. We think it's Wilson, Young, and Peterson, but we don't know for sure. Scribbling hopes to win this back. Everson will take it against him, and Dean wins the face-off to Jody Hull. Hull dumps it around, recovered by Everson. Everson between the dots. Shoots wide left. Controlled by Kastelik behind the net. Kastelik skates it around. Will take his own shot as soon as I get the button. Blocked by McPhee to Robinson. They play it to center. Here come that Whale again. Kastelik dumps it around. Now Babbage under pressure. He lost it to Skrudland. And the Habs change on the fly. 12:52 to go. Walter plays it off, and it's going to be called for an icing. And the face-off coming in the Montreal zone. 51 seconds left in the matching minors to Lawler and Ulfie with 12:32 to go in the first period. We think it's Ferraro. We know it's Carbonneau on the face. No, Ronnie Francis will take it, and he wins it in the Habs zone. Now to Greg Jennings. Winds and fires. Haywood makes the stop. And we got a stoppage on the ice. 12:14 first period. 1-0 Whalers. And on the out-of-town digital dice scoreboard, a first look at that on a Monday night. The Nords, who will have a 5-year lease on life in Quebec, lead Buffalo 1-0 at the odd. Huff at 6:41 with a goal. And Mario Lemieux celebrating his brand new contract, as we said in the open. 12:03 to go in the first at the Igloo. And Lemieux's got both the goals. In fact, he scored them both in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. 2-0 Pens over the Caps. So Carbonneau and we think Ferraro out on this faceoff. No, it's Everson. And the faceoff is won by Montreal. Walter in the Hartford zone to Carbonneau. Carbonneau right side. Shoots wide of the net. Everson, I think, got a piece of it. Kastelik will skate it out. Everson through center. Jody Hull, right side. From the circle. Haywood makes a stop on that one. Got a stick on it. Rebound is loose. Controlled by Svoboda over to Courtnall. And the Habs will bring on the fourth line. Courtnall to Richer. Dumps it around for Everson to Kastelik. Now back to Hall. Jody Hall shoots wide to the net right. Bounces around. Corson chips it out to center. Stolen by Everson. To Hartford. Babbage now to Everson. Hit by Corson. Here come the Habs. Chelios and Robinson on the ice. Corson waits to start the rush. Now into the Hartford zone to Robinson. They pass it around. Chelios slides it to Larry Robinson. Robinson, defended by Quenneville, will take the long shot from the dot, from the circle, He misses it high and right. Now Babbage will have it. Habs change forwards. 10:27 first period, 1-0 Hartford. Deneen clears it, and it will be an icing call, and the puck is brought back into the Hartford zone. 10:09 to go in the opening stanza, 1-0 Hartford. So Lawler and Desjardins, let's see if we can keep Lawler out of the box. With the front line forwards, we think it's Francis, Anderson, and McDermott, with Ladouceur and Ulfie. It is Francis on the face-off, and it is won by Hartford. McDermott over center to Anderson. Left wing shot. And Hayward makes the save. And with 9:48 to go, we'll have a face-off to the right of Hayward. Serious question, or are you just making sure I don't sing again? So, no changes for Montreal. Wilson with Peterson and Young. First time we've seen them on the ice with Quenneville and Jennings. Bobby Smith against Wilson on the face-off. Won by Hartford. Young to Babbage. Back over to Wilson. Young trying to take a slapper here. Guarded by Keane. Long shot. Hayward saw that one all the way and will do it again. I took some Advil the last time I had a headache. So, 9:25 to go first period. Smith and Wilson, we think. Again in front of Hayward. 7 shots for Hartford in the first 10.5 minutes. Won by Smith. Keane speeds up the wing and dumps it around for Naslund. Naslund back to Lawler. Mike Lawler winds and fires. Naslund tried to deflect it, couldn't get it. Puck bounces to center, controlled by Montreal. Naslund. They will change now to McPhee. McPhee will try to skate it in the zone. Lemieux over to McPhee. To Lemieux. Penalty coming up. Delayed penalty on Hartford. McPhee, left wing. Fires over everything. And Ferraro will touch it.
Hartford penalty to Kevin Deneen. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 11 minutes 11 seconds.
I'd say this is a dangerous situation for Hartford, but Montreal is 17th in the NHL in the power play. They've only scored 1 in every 5 chances. Hartford's done a good job killing it at 81%. So Carbonneau will take the face-off with Courtnall and Claude Lemieux. And Claude Lemieux has told the Montreal Gazette he wants a trade. Not happy there. And, of course, when you're 10-2-2 in real life and you got players chirping for trades, you tell them to shut the front door. Or maybe take them for a walk around your neighborhood where the Coyotes hang out. One of the two. Chelios and Svoboda on D. It'll be Peterson against Carbonneau on the face-off. Won by Hartford. Cote dumps it around, and Lemieux will touch it behind the net to start the rush for Montreal. Lemieux. Svoboda over to Chelios. Chelios over the line to Svoboda. Hit by Peterson. Hartford gets it. Montreal's chirping. They clear it to the whale. Chelios touches it. Wholesale changes. Smith with Richer and Naslund. Out there with Robinson and Desjardins. Bobby Smith dumps it around. Liute will touch it. Leaves it for Ulfie. Samuelson will clear. Back down the other way. Just 30 seconds left. and the Hartford penalty. Whalers change. Bobby over the line. Passes to Richer, left side from just outside the circle. Winds and fires, blocked by Olfe. Richer's got it behind the net. He's got Bobby Smith open. If he can get the pass there. He does. Smith with Olfe in front. Shoots. Liut with a save. He got a glove on it, and that will kill the power play. So 6:49. Don't forget to play the lotto if you're in Canada. 7-3 the shots in favor of the Whalers. Scribbling out there with Lemieux and McPhee was Svoboda and Green. Second line hasn't seen a lot of action so far. Ferraro out for Montreal. For Hartford. Scribbling wins the face-off. Svoboda looking for somebody. He's going to try to pass it to Scribbling. Ahead on the right wing. Scribbling. A knuckler blocked by Ray Ferraro. Loose puck controlled by Kevin Dineen. The Whale changed the D. Hartford, Dineen to center, taken away by Montreal. They will make changes. Courtnall to Carbonneau. Over the line. They pass it back and forth. Carbonneau is going to take the mid-range shot. Doesn't want to penetrate. Scoring chance. Terrible. Blocked by Anderson, who's got it. Leaves it for Jennings. Now to Anderson. Up around the wing. DeFrancis. McDermott. Jennings, but he loses control, and Montreal has it. 5:08 to go in the period. Fourth line coming out for the Habs. Lawler to Corson. Up the wing to Gilchrist. Brent Gilchrist, first time he's been on the ice tonight. From the circle, misses wide. Now to Corson. But they lose it, and they have to go all the way down, and Lawler will start the next rush. Chelios and Robinson will come on in a second. Corson now in the Hartford zone. Over to Chelios. Back to Corson. Gilchrist is open at point-blank range. Corson finds him. Gilchrist one-timer. Saved by Liut. And Gilchrist gets nailed. Gilchrist gets run over. And you can hear him slapping the boards. Montreal not happy. TV timeout. They'll have a few seconds to chirp about this. 4:17 to go. First period. 1-0 Hartford. So a check on the digital dice out-of-town scoreboard. Quebec still leads Buffalo 1-0 in the first. Washington, Miller at 8:55 gets them to within one of Pittsburgh. Remember, Mario, the $2 million man, has 2 goals in this one already. So Gilchrist in the zone with Richer and Corson, Robinson and Chelios. We think Ferraro, Tippett, and Dineen with Cote and Babbage. Ferraro is out for the face-off. Won by Ray. Now Dineen. Hit by Richer. Montreal. Richer has it at center. To Gilchrist. They're trying to press it. Corson over the line to Gilchrist. Now back to Chelios. Tic-tac-toe. Chelios. Long shot. Guarded by Ladouceur. Chelios. Right dot. Fires. Liut saw that all the way. Closes the legs, and we have a face-off. 3:34 to go. Bobby Smith is out for Montreal with Naslund and Keane, Green, and Svoboda. Francis and Naslund with a face-off, and it is won by Naslund. Francis is pretty good on face-offs. Naslund behind the net. No one open. They'll cycle the puck around. Now Mike Keane. He will try to penetrate on Babbage, and he does. He gets the decon. Keane moves in, and Liut gets under the glove and makes the save. 2:56 to go. 1-0 Hartford. The lone goal coming on the power play for the Whalers. Ferraro and Smith on the face-off. Won by Ray Ferraro. Over the line in the Montreal zone. Tippett winds and fires. Haywood makes the save. It bounces away. The puck is loose. Green and Deneen along the board. Controlled by Green. Kicks it forward to Naslund. 2:40 to go. Montreal starts it out. Green to Naslund in the Hartford zone. Quenneville with the big hit and then steals the puck. Deneen dumps it around. There'll be some changes. Skrudland's line comes in. 1-0 Hartford. Closing stages of the first period. Skrudland to McPhee in the zone. Left side. In the circle. Lemieux deflects it wide. Down to Quenneville. To Francis up the ice. Francis to McDermott. Back to Francis. Jennings, Hartford being smart. Francis behind the net. Stolen by Claude Lemieux. 1:07 to go. How you doing, Buckshot Kid? Closing stages of the first period. Both teams change. Carbonneau dumps it around for Courtnall. Back to Carbonneau. He fires and Lemieux makes the save. 51 and change on the clock. And the shots now... You don't say that in a Montreal Canadiens stream. Go, Leafs, go. Jeez. 8-7 in favor of the Whalers. So Carbonneau hopes to draw this back. No changes. In a period that Hartford has played really well. Ferraro out there for the face-off. Won by Carbonneau. Chelios. Now Carbonneau. He's going to have Walter open along the left side. Walter skates between the dots. Shoots. Lemieux with a save. Covers it up. And we'll get a face-off again. Ronnie Francis is out there, we think, now. 22 and change to go. I'm doing just fine on a Monday night, thank you. Carbonneau and Francis on the face-off. Won by Ronnie. Babbage skates it out. Anderson dumps it around for McDermott. Can they get a shot off before the siren? Anderson to Francis. McDermott, they better hurry. McDermott on a wraparound. McDermott shoots. Hayward makes the save as the buzzer sounds. And after 20 minutes at the Hartford Civic Center, it is the Whalers 1, the Canadiens nothing. This is Montreal Canadiens 88-89, brought to you by DigitalDice.com. Mike from the truck, how are you? So here's the scoring summary. It's pretty brief. Ray Ferraro at 217 on the power play is 11th of the year from Wilson and Cote. And then Montreal with some dumb penalties. And then some season's greetings exchange between Lawler and Ulfie Samuelson. Face-offs 10-9 in favor of Montreal. Shots on goal 9-8 for Hartford. Hits 4-3 for Montreal. Blocks 4-1 in favor of the Whale. Habs 0-1 on the power play, and the Whalers are 1-2. Well, they're more like board games. Mike from the truck watched the Hartford Wolfpack at the mall. Then you get people to complain, Buckshot Kid, that it's not really sports. On the out-of-town scoreboard, 2 games going on that we know of. Huff's got a second of the year. That came in 11:45 of the first. Quebec 2-0 over Buffalo at the odd. And if you missed the news earlier, the Nords have been sold to a local consortium and will have a 5-year guarantee to stay in the province of Quebec. Paul Coffey has a goal, 13:06 of the first period. Pittsburgh 3, the Capitals 1. He had pretty good success with the board games. We haven't had so many people complain. So, Dave rooting for the Nords. So 1-0 Whalers. Smith and Ferraro out for the face-off. Hartford 10-10-2. Montreal 19-6-1. Ferraro and Smith at center. Won by Montreal. Smith, Naslin over the line to Chelios. Now to Keane behind the net. They'll cycle it. No one's there. Now Bobby Smith behind the net. Again, he's not liking what he's seeing there. We're not hearing any Go Montreal in the crowd. We give you free Montreal Canadiens games, and we root for everybody else. Jeez. Goes out to Chelios on the left wing. Chelios with a slapper. He shoots. Liut saw that all the way. Loose puck behind the net. Smith and Babbage fight for it. Babbage will have it. Now Deneen, right side. They dump it around for Ray Ferraro. Tip it at the blue line. He can't control. Larry Robinson does. Montreal's all Dave can get on the Rabbit Ears. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good quality hockey. Larry Robinson starts the next rush. Scrudlin. McPhee hit by Jennings, and Jennings gets called for the charge.
Hartford penalty to Grant Jennings. 2 minutes for charging. Time of the penalty, 1 minute 21 seconds.
Grant, Greg, whatever. He gets called for the charge. That was pretty obvious. He, left McPhee right by the Ames board sign. So Carbonneau, Courtnall, and Lemieux for Montreal with Lawler and Rick Green. We think it's Peterson and Dean Evison on the face-off with Cote and Randy Ladouceur. It is Peterson and Carbonneau on the face-off, won by Montreal. On the power play, they're 0 for 1 tonight. Courtnall tries to feed Lemieux on the right side. Lemieux, wrister! Liut stands tall, and we got a face-off. 1:43 to go. Shots 10-9 now in favor of Montreal. Peterson and Carbonneau, won by Peterson. Evison over the line, and he is offside. Minute 27 to go in the power play. Bobby Smith, Stefan Richer, and Mats Naslin on the ice with Chelios and Svoboda. Ronnie Francis wins the faceoff, however. Tippin over the line, and again, he's offside. So minute 9 to go on the Jennings charge. Peterson and Smith on the face-off, won by Bobby Smith. Over the Hartford line, Richer back to Smith. They play tic-tac-toe. Richer is going to penetrate on Quenneville. He is poked away by Joel. Babbage clears it to Everson, and he dumps it all the way down and around. Habs change up. 28 seconds to go on the power play. They dump it around for Carbonneau. Slips it over to Russ Courtnall, who loses the puck, and Hartford's going to kill this off. Peterson loses it. Lemieux, but it doesn't matter. Lemieux's on the ice. The power play's over. They'll cycle it once. Russ Courtnall, he will try to find Desjardins at center. Courtnall overskates the puck. Line changes are coming. Francis to Anderson over the Montreal line. And Svoboda and Ladouceur wish each other a Merry Christmas.
Montreal penalty to Petr Svoboda. 2 minutes for roughing. Hartford penalty to Randy Ladouceur. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties, 4 minutes 5 seconds.
Well, this hasn't been too rough yet, but you can see it kind of coming. Gilchrist and Evison out on the face-off. No, Francis with Gilchrist. Won by Brent. Good job. Richer over the line to Lawler, and McDermott gets called for the roughing.
Hartford penalty to Paul Mcdermott. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes 22 seconds.
So Montreal goes back on the power play. A minute 43 left on the penalties to Svoboda and Randy Ladouceur, and McDermott gets 2 minutes. That was not a smart penalty, and Montreal is able to put on their top power play line of Richer, Smith, and Naslund. Francis will take the face-off, and it's won by Ronnie. Tippett clears it all the way down. Richer starts the rush. A minute 44 to go on the power play. Saucers it to Smith. Gets around Jennings. They dump it around for Richer. Back to Smith now from Naslund. He loses the puck. Tippett hit by Robinson. Montreal keeps it in the zone to Chelios. Chelios will wind and fire. Naslund in front of the net. Naslund deflects it wide of the net. And to right, Ronnie Francis, who clears it to Tippett, who finally clears it, and now we'll have some changes. 42 seconds to go in the power play. 25 in the matching minors to Ladouceur and Svoboda. Claude Lemieux over to Courtnall. Courtnall's going to try to find Carbonneau in the left circle. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Carbonneau skates back. He shoots and scores! Guy Carbonneau! His 10th ties it.
Montreal power play goal by Guy Carbonneau, his 10th of the season, assisted by Russ Courtnall. Time of the goal 6 minutes 22 seconds.
Carbonneau went back and skated backwards for it, found the alley past Liut, went over the shoulder, and it's 1-1. So 11-9, the shots in favor of Montreal. Hello, D. Scott Howard and hockey fans across the interweb. So Desjardins and Lawler are on the ice defensively. Gilchrist, Corson, and Richer. You can't unsub. You could be concerned, but you can't unsub. Gilchrist and Evison at the face-off at center. 1-1 tie. 13:38 to go second period. Habs win the face-off. Gilchrist is offside, and we have ourselves a TV timeout. 13:18 to go in the second period. 1-1. And the out-of-town scoreboard presented by Digital Dice, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Mr. Huff's got 2 goals for the Nordiques. Quebec 2-0 over Buffalo, now in the second period. Bob Airy, and a goal at the 29-second mark of the second, gives Pittsburgh a 4-1 lead over the Caps. So face off just outside the Hartford zone. And we'll keep everybody on. Ferraro out there against Gilchrist on the face-off. Won by Ray Ferraro. Tippett hit by Richer. Montreal has it at center. Corson trying to skate it in. Over to Gilchrist. Delayed penalty coming up on Hartford. Gilchrist, one-timer right side, and that misses everything. Samuelson touches it.
Hartford penalty to Kevin Dineen, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalty, 7 minutes 19 seconds.
And again, not smart for Hartford here to give up another power play chance to Montreal. Naslund, Richer, and Smith, we think, out there with Peterson and Evison. And Barry Peterson will take the face-off, won by Montreal. Habs have it on the power play. Chelios feeds it to Richer up the left wing. Richer's going to take a shot. He does, blocked by Quenneville. Controlled by Peterson. Hartford will try and clear. Evison, short-handed, gives it to Peterson. Short-handed bid. He fires. Hayward makes the save with a pad for Svoboda. Richer breaks his stick. Montreal will change. A minute 12 in the power play. Desjardins to Courtnall up the wall. Courtnall dumps it in. Liut passes it back for Babbage. Hartford. Evison at center. Told him by Robinson. 36 seconds in the power play. Lemieux over the line to Carbonneau. To Desjardins. Back to Lemieux. Up the wall to Desjardins on the right side. Eric fires. Courtnall tips it wide. Evison Power play is over. Montreal can't do anything with it. 11-10. The shots remain in favor of Montreal. 10:41 here in the second. Quenneville from behind his own net breaks it out to Anderson. Over the Montreal line to McDermott. Paul fires. Hayward gives up the rebound off the pad. Jennings to McDermott, down to Ronnie Francis behind the net. Francis, Anderson, between the dots, scores! John Anderson.
Hartford goal scored by John Anderson, his 5th of the season, assisted by number 10, Ron Francis, and by Paul McDermott. Time of the goal 9 minutes 49 seconds.
So that's the 5th for Anderson. Ronnie Francis' 18th assist and Paul McDermott's 5th. On one of those wind and fires off the rebound, and you know what that means. Da 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 da. Safe to say that Montreal is not playing well tonight. 2-1. Hartford, 12 shots for the Whale, 11 for Montreal. McPhee, Skrudland, and Riche on the ice with Chelios and Robinson. And look who resubbed. Evison out there with Skrudland on the faceoff. Won by Evison. Over to Castellek. Dumps it around for Jody Hall. Cote, another penalty coming up.
Penalty to Brian Skrudland. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 10 minutes 3 seconds.
And the night of 1,000 stupid penalties continues as Skrudland gets called for the bad slash. Carbonneau and Corson will kill this one with Chelios and Robinson. Actually, Green and Svoboda. Looks like Francis, Anderson, and Deneen will be the power play forwards here with Cote and Grant Jennings. Francis does indeed take the face-off, wins it. Hartford on the power play. Ladisor to Francis. Over to Deneen. They lose the puck. Corson will swing it down. Can they clear it? Yes, they do. All the way down to Ulfie. 1:23 and the slash to Skrudland. 9:20 to go in the second. 2-1 Hartford. They'll change it up. Ulfie to Francis. Hayward will play it. Sweeps it back for Svoboda. Rick Green. Montreal wants to clear. Svoboda, they do. To Ulfie. Now Walter and McPhee come on. 48 seconds to go in the power play for Hartford. They bring it up to Francis. Over the line. Deneen. Right side. Long slapper. Wines. Blocked by Chelios. Chelios dove. He did his best Hal Gear. Francis gets the rebound. Hayward gives up the puck. Puck is loose. Knocked away by Chelios. Only to Deneen. Behind the net. Over to Ulfie. Long shot. Blocked by Larry Robinson. Robinson clears it out to Babbage. Power play is over. 13-11 the shots now for Hartford. And the fourth line comes on. Young for Hartford. Dumps it around. They give it up. Gilchrist behind his own net. 7.5 to go in the second period. Riche. Gilchrist. Back to Riche in the Hartford zone. Corson loses it. Now it's Ladisor. Randy changes on the fly. Wilson over to Jennings. Back to Young. Young behind his net. Young will go around. Long shot. Hayward saw that one all the way. Some nice Christmas spirit going on between the two teams, and we'll have a face-off. 6:44, second period. 2-1 Hartford. So Bobby Smith out there with Keane and Naslin. Green and Svoboda out there for Montreal. Dean Evison, we think, will take the face-off. No, it's Wilson with Peterson and Young. Won by Bobby Smith. Gains the Hartford zone. Back down to Keane. Slapper right side. In the circle. Liute gives up the rebound. Kept it over to Young. Now back to Samuelson. Hartford changes. Castellek. Dumps it around for Jody Hull. Back to Quenneville. Stolen by Naslund. 6:07 to go. Montreal trying to get something going here. Keane over the line to Naslund. Now to Smith. Right wing side. He fires. I think Everson got a piece of that. It's not on the net. Quenneville. As Montreal will change. Leaves it for Ladouceur. Now to Hull. Hull around the boards. Castellec now to Hull. Jody loses it. Chelios behind Hayward to Lemieux. Lemieux to Skrudland. Right wing side. Liute with a big ol' save. And a TV timeout. 5:11 to go. Second period. Hartford in a tight defensive one leads Montreal 2-1. So, another game on the scoreboard. Let's start in Buffalo. Dave Vanderchuk had a goal at 3:20 of the second. 10:01 to go at the odd 2-1 Quebec. And we know, say it again, go Quebec. Vancouver and Edmonton at Northlands. One of the Suter boys scored at 4:05 to make it 1-0 Vancouver. And then Mike Gartner, at 10:12 of the second, just a few seconds to go, made it 4-2 now, as Pittsburgh still leads Washington. Mario Lemieux had 2 goals in the first period. So Skrudland only skated 4 minutes tonight. Out there with Lemieux and McPhee. Chelios and Robinson. Wilson on the face-off against Skrudland, won by Bryan. Chelios. McPhee. Skrudland, right wing circle. Skrudland skates it over to left. Fires. Liute with a save. And he'll cover it up. 4:41 to go. Baseball returns tomorrow to Retro Sports Network, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. The Brooklyn Dodgers and St. Louis Cardinals face off. Brooklyn is in first place now in the National League. 49 baseball returns tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. If it's good, it's on Retro Sports Network. So Ferraro and Skrudland on the face-off, won by Ray Ferraro. Over the line now, Kevin Dineen, Tippett. Wrist one left side, that misses all the way left. Claude Lemieux leaves it for Skrudland. And with 4:25 to go, the Habs will change it up. Walter clears it to center, taken by Dineen to Ferraro, dumps it around. Back to Dineen. He loses control. Svoboda. This time they're going to try to send it up. Under 4 to go. Carbonneau has it to Green. Back to Walter. Walter will shoot. And Liute will make the save. 3:21 to go. Gilchrist, Corson, and Richer. We think Francis Anderson and McDermott. Everson will take the face off. Won by Gilchrist. That's a big one. Richer. Going to try a wraparound from behind the net. Point blank range on Liute. He shoots. And Liute is equal to the task. So another save. 16-14 the shots in favor of Montreal. Gilchrist and Wilson on the face-off. Gilchrist and Francis, pardon me. But Gilchrist wins this one over to Richer. Desjardins. Desjardins will take the long shot. Gilchrist is there to possibly deflect the puck. Desjardins skates up. Right circle. Gilchrist deflects it wide. Cote skates it out. McDermott had the last goal. Dumps it around for Francis. Babbage. One-timer for Babbage. He shoots. Hayward makes the catch. And with 2:04 to go in the second, we got a face-off. Hartford 2, Montreal 1. So Bobby Smith and we think Dean Everson. No, it's Wilson. Wilson wins the face-off in the zone to Ladouceur. Now Wolfie's got it. Keane with a check. Out comes Montreal. 1:45 to go. Smith dumps it around. Samuelson takes it back. Now Young the other way. And Keane and Peterson get called for the roughing.
Montreal penalty to Mike Keane. 2 minutes for roughing Hartford penalty to Brent Peterson, 2 minutes for roughing, time of the penalties, 18 minutes 48 seconds.
So latter stages of the second period, Skrudland's line is out there. We think with Ferraro, Dineen, and Tippett. Defensively, it's Green and Svoboda. And this matching minors will go for the rest of the period. McPhee wins it, dumps it around. Lemieux wins the battle over to McPhee, and Skrudland and Tippett get into it.
Montreal penalty to Brian Skrudland, 2 minutes for roughing Hartford penalty to Dave Tippett, 2 minutes for roughing, time of the penalties, 19 minutes 2 seconds.
Well, when you play each other 8 times a year, and probably this would be a first-round playoff matchup, you don't like each other. It's kind of like Dave and I during the staff meetings for Digital Dice. So 58 and change on the clock. Carbonneau's line is out there. We think Ferraro, Dineen, and Anderson. And it is Ferraro on the face-off, won by Carbonneau in the zone. Svoboda to Carbonneau. Walter up the boards. Hit by Dineen, however. Here comes Hartford. Anderson. Dineen. Ferraro over the line. Now Dineen behind the net to Anderson. Anderson with a long shot from the wing. And Hayward makes the save. And that is the period. 8-7 the shots in favor of Montreal. 8-2 the scoring chances in favor of Montreal. Montreal got the power play goal, but after 40 minutes, it's the Hartford Whalers 2, the Montreal Canadiens 1. You're watching Canadiens Hockey 88-89 right here on Retro Sports Network. So here's a scoring summary here in the second period. Montreal tied it at 6:22 with the period. Guy Carbonneau on the power play from Russ Courtnall. A Woolworths goal, number 10 from number 5. But Hartford, even strength at 9:49, took the lead. Anderson skated back and fired it over Brian Hayward, his 5th of the year, from Ronnie Francis and Paul McDermott to make it 2-1 Hartford, and lots of chargings and roughings and slashes. Penalty minutes now 14 for Montreal, 16 for Hartford. No fights yet, but 48 seconds in the matching minors to Keane and Peterson. Skrudland and Tippett have a minute 2 left in their little scrum. And on the out-of-town scoreboard, Quebec and Buffalo, 2-1 Nords. Anderchuk at 3:20 of the second to get Buffalo on the board. 6:03 to go in the second period there. Vancouver still without one goal over Edmonton. 1-0 there. And Pittsburgh 4-2 over Washington. And that's what we got going on right now in the NHL. So first line on for Montreal. First line on for the Whalers. Can the Whalers beat Montreal? What say you, Mr. Gardner? Smith and Ferraro on the face-off at center. Won by Ferraro. Cote backs it up. Now Anderson over the line. Dineen, right side. He shoots. And a save by Hayward. For authenticity, I should call the second period of these games in en français. If I knew it, I'd do it. But I don't. But we will. Okay, if you want that, don't forget to, after the game, to go to St. Hubert for the best darn barbecue chicken in the province. So no changes here. 16 seconds into the third period. 2-1 Hartford. 2-1. Whalers de Hartford. 2. Canadiens de Montreal. 1. There. That better? Bobby Smith and Ray Ferraro on the faceoff. One by Ferraro in the zone. Babbage to Anderson. Anderson. Gonna let it go. He winds. Hayward makes the stop and he'll hang on. 28 seconds in the matching ones to Skrudland and Tippett. 14 seconds left in the matching ones to Peterson and Keene. 19:26 to go in regulation time. Smith and Francis on the face-off, won by Ronnie. McDermott to Kastelek, back to McDermott behind the net. Samuelson, Olfe. Wines, blocked by Smith. Smith has control now to Naslund. Montreal wants it out of the zone. Richer through center to Chelios. Chelios now to Smith. Bobby Smith fires. Liut with the save. Rebound. It was a weak shot. Francis has it. Now Kastelek in the Montreal zone. Offside. 18:31 to go in the third period. 2-1 Hartford. So Skrudland will defend his own zone with McPhee and Claude Lemieux. Dean Evison, Jody Hall, and Kastelek, we think. And don't forget, the next Hartford Whaler goal gives everybody in attendance a $5 gift certificate from Carvel Ice Cream. Fudgy the Whale will be performing tomorrow night at the Al Red Sox Fan Victoria's Secret on the mezzanine level. So get your Fudgy the Whale ice cream cake from Carvel. If Hartford can score again, you get a $5 off gift certificate. No, not really. Offer void in real life. So Skrudland out there with Evison. Ferraro, I take it back. Skrudland wins the face-off. He dumps it around. McPhee to Skrudland. Back to McPhee. And he can't play it. It's Hartford's puck. Dineen breaks it out. To Babbage. Back over to Dineen. Kevin Dineen. Right wing side blocked by Svoboda. Svoboda's got it. Leaves it for Green. Montreal tries to break it out the other way. McPhee over the line to Svoboda. Claude Lemieux. Left circle. He shoots. Liut makes the save and he'll hang on. 17:35, 2-1 Hartford. In the 60s in Central Washington, D. Scott Howard got the midweek French language games from Canada on TVA on a fledgling cable system. I learned my hockey in French on a grainy 20-inch black and white TV. You know what? This game was on French television over there, TVA. And I would have watched it on Channel 10 out of Sherbrooke. Channel 10. Third line out there. It was fun to watch him in French. Drove my parents nuts. Carbonneau out there with Courtnall and Walter. Francis, McDermott, and Anderson, we think, with Ladouceur and Samuelson. It is indeed Ronnie Francis. Carbonneau wins it in the zone. Lawler from Desjardins, hit by McDermott. Montreal doesn't like it. Anderson dumps it in the corner. Carbonneau steals it from McDermott. And Montreal comes back the other way, 17:03 to go. Lawler, hit by McDermott. Hartford behind the net. Now McDermott the other way. Anderson over the line. Slaps it. McDermott with a deflection. Misses wide. Courtnall leaves it for Walter. And Montreal wants fresh skaters out there. 16:26 to go. And Corson will ice the puck. Not what they need. So Evison, we think, with Kastelek and Hull against Gilchrist, Corson, and Richer. No, it's Ferraro. It's the first line for Hartford. They win the draw. Babbage. Dave Babbage winds and fires. And Hayward makes the stop again. Richer broke his stick. He goes to the bench and gets a new one. And the face-off again will be in front of Hayward. 15:48 to go. Shots 19-18 in favor of Hartford. Excuse me. Gilchrist and Evison on the face-off. Won by Dean to keep it in the zone to Grant Jennings. Jennings, wrister. Shot saved by Hayward as I sneeze again. Rebound is loose. Controlled by Richer to Corson. Montreal has been stuck in Springfield the entire game. Corson hit by Hull. Wales have it. Montreal doesn't like that. Odd man rush. Robinson. Everson one-on-one on Hayward. He shoots. Save! Brian Hayward. Oh my! Over to Robinson, who plays it to Chelios, and Montreal will regroup. They change up. 14:58 to go. Naslund to center, taken by Kastelek. He lost an edge. Montreal's got it at center. Mike Keane trying to skate it in. Smith mishandles it. Hartford has it at center. Kevin Dineen. First line on for Hartford. Ferraro over to Tippett. Left side. A long shot. Hayward saw it. Makes the save. And we got a TV timeout. 13:39 to go in the hockey game. 2-1 Hartford. Now for Montreal, this is the first of a back-to-back game. They play Philadelphia tomorrow. You won't see that one as we start December. So you kind of wonder if Montreal is looking forward to tomorrow and not taking Hartford seriously. Last dying seconds of the second period, Ramsey has tied the game for Buffalo at 14:02. 2-2 there at the odd. Vancouver over Edmonton, 1-0 in the first period. Pittsburgh still up on Washington 4-2 in the third. 13:05 to go there. Cornwall was the first word D. Scott Howard ever learned. Drove your mom nuts. That's better than some other first words. So Skrudlin and we think Francis. Just hear it in that little baby voice. Conway! I think we woke up Dave. Everson and Skrudlin for the face-off. Won by Montreal. Lemieux clears it down, but not far enough for an icing. Babbage wrists it off to center. Taken by McPhee. And Montreal tries to get it back in. McPhee in the zone to Skrudlin. Penalty coming
Montreal
up on...
penalty to Claude Lemieux. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 7 minutes 15 seconds.
Well, Lemieux getting called for a penalty in your own... in the opposition's... on the offensive zone will get him into Pat Burns' doghouse faster than Snoopy after a couple of root beers. So Lemieux with the hook and the Whale go back on the power play. They have a power play goal tonight. Francis, Dineen, and Anderson against Carbonneau and Corson. And the face-off is won by Francis. Dineen behind the net. Samuelson. Slapper. Right side. Blocked by Svoboda. Puck is loose. Controlled by Dineen. Back over to Babbage. Babbage. Left side. Slapper. Knuckles one blocked by Rick Green. Controlled again by Babbage. Babbage passes around. No, he's going to take the shot. Babbage. Second verse. Not the same as the first. Hayward gives up the stick save. Rebound is loose. Controlled by Babbage. Now Babbage again. Winds and fires. Hayward gives up yet another rebound. Babbage has it. He's going to take a third shot. Another bite of the cherry. Rebound by Hayward. Loose. Controlled by Dineen. Francis gets nailed. No call. Dineen's got it. Francis. Long shot. Right side. Scores! Ronnie Francis.
Hartford power play goal by number 10, Ron Francis. His 9th of the season. Assisted by Kevin Dineen. And by Dave Babbage. Time of the goal 9 minutes 15 seconds.
Well, it's a good thing we brought Kerry Frazier in to referee the last 10:45 of this game because Montreal is between the proverbial rock and a hard place now. Francis, after being nailed, got the puck, just kind of flung it towards Hayward, and it got it past him. And you know what we're going to do? There. So his 9th of the year for Francis, Deneen is 11th assist and Babbage is 13th. Now, D. Scott Howard's first real word was Bob Crosby in the early 50s. And that's a long story. May it please the court. So, Montreal in a hole here at the Hartford Civic Center. They've been held to 1 goal. Evison and Smith on the faceoff. Montreal's got to be aggressive now. And Bobby wins the faceoff. Naslund over the line. Naslund behind the net. Nobody there. They'll cycle it. Naslund in trouble. He loses it to Hartford. They'll change D. Hartford changes the D. Kastelik over the line to Evison. Evison between the dots. Hayward will make that save and will freeze the puck. 9:50 to go. Not a good effort for Les Habitants. Skrudland out there with Lemieux and McPhee. Lawler and Desjardins. To defend this, Wilson, Young, and Peterson. Skrudland and Wilson on the face-off. Won by Skrudland. Lemieux dumps it to center. Young has it. In trouble, slapped in for Wilson. Wilson with a slapper. He fires wide of the net. Desjardins has it. McPhee tries to skate it out. Desjardins along the wall to Lawler. To McPhee. Hartford takes it at center. Young dumps it around for Wilson. Back to Young. Stolen by Skrudland. Montreal will change here. 4th line on. 1st line defense. 8.5 to go in the hockey game. Chelios to Richer. Along the wall to Chelios. Back to Richer. Richer right side from the circle. Shoots. And Liut stands tall. 8:13 to go. I saw, Mr. Howard, that they announced OOTP 22 today, but no details outside of just some incentives if you buy it early. And we will, I'm sure, bring it up at Digital Dice, especially once we know what new features are in there. It's the first release, by the way, first OOTP release since they were sold by Marcus. So curious to see what the new company has to do. No changes, 8:13 to go. Gilchrist and we think Wilson on the face-off. Gilchrist and Wilson, won by Gilchrist. He draws it back to Robinson, back over to Richer. Richer over to Chelios, but stolen by Young. Wholesale changes for the Whale, 7:56 to go. Deneen along the boards, dumps it around, but taken by Robinson. First line forwards come out from Montreal. Naslund through center to Chelios. Hit by Deneen. The Whalers are doing everything right in this game. They change their defenseman. Hartford by 2. Tippett chips it out to center. Naslund. They'll change lines. 7:01 to go. McPhee tries to skate it into Skrudland. Over the line to McPhee. McPhee, left side, long shot. Lemieux in front. McPhee, deflected by Lemieux and a score! Claude Lemieux. So Montreal got one back.
Montreal goal scored by Claude Lemieux, his 13th of the season, assisted by Mike McPhee, and by Petrus Svoboda. Time of the goal 13 minutes 16 seconds.
So 6:44 to go. McPhee had the initial shot. Lemieux just got a stick there and tipped it past Liut. So it's a 1-goal game, 3-2, 6:44 to go. And I can see you reaching to unsub again. So Hartford's got to kill this off. 27-20, the shots in favor of the Whale. Skrudland and Francis at center, won by Francis. Quenville to McDermott, along the boards to Anderson. Dumps it around, but taken by Green. 6:22 to go. Lemieux tries to break it out. Svoboda clears it all the way down, and that is a bridge too far, and that's an icing call. So Montreal changes up. Carbonneau, Walter, and Courtnall with Lawler and Desjardins. Dean Evison with Castellec and Hull, we think. It's Ferraro. The first line's on for Hartford. Won by the Whale in the zone. Dineen winds and fires. Blocked by Desjardins. Loose puck controlled by Courtnall. 5:47 to go. 3-2 Hartford. Courtnall to Carbonneau over the line. Desjardins stripped by Tippett. And the crowd here in Hartford is starting to believe. 5.5 to go. They change up to the Whale. Samuelson dumps it around all the way down. 5:12 to go. Lawler touches it. And Montreal makes wholesale changes. Chelios, Corson, over the line, offside, and a TV timeout. 4:54 to go. And Hartford still leads 3-2. So on the out-of-town scoreboard, Buffalo, Pierre Turgeon at 8:13 of the third makes it 3-2 at the odd. Still 1-0 Vancouver over Edmonton. They move to the second period. And Loney with a goal for Pittsburgh at 9:18 of the third makes it 5-2 Penguins. So Green and Svoboda, fourth line stays on. Montreal still carries a timeout in their pocket. Ferraro and Gilchrist on the faceoff. Won by Hartford. Ladouceur dumps it around for Ferraro. Tippett to Dineen. Back to Tippett. He loses the puck. Corson behind his net. 4.5 to go. Corson to center, stolen away by Tippett. To the knee, they dump it around and lose possession again. Hartford playing dump and chase hockey. Svoboda, 4 minutes to go. Gilchrist over the line, hit by Olfe. Hartford. Samuelson's got it. They'll change forwards. Montreal will change. 3:43 to go. Mcdermott to Anderson. Dumps it around for Mcdermott. Over to Francis. To Olfe. Stolen by Bobby Smith. 3.5 to go. Smith behind his own net. Naslund to Keane in the Hartford zone. Delayed penalty. Keane's going to break his stick. He shoots it high and wide over everything. McDermott touches it. And a bad hooking call.
Hartford penalty to Paul McDermott, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 16 minutes 51 seconds.
Gardner's laughing. You could hear him screaming all the way up there. That was not a hooking call. Who would have seen that coming? Well, if you go to the Hartford Insurance, they would have seen it coming. Call 1-800-NOT-REAL to find an insurance agent in your neck of the woods. So, Richer, Smith, and Naslund, 3:09 to go, unsub. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Chelios and Svoboda out there. Peterson and Evison for the Whale with Babbage and Quenneville. 27-20, the shots in favor of Hartford. And the face-off was won by Peterson. And again, they stand. Babbage short-handed over the line. Svoboda with a hit. Svoboda. 1:42 to go in the power play. Hartford changes up. Montreal. Richer. Over the line to Smith. Bobby Smith to Svoboda. Hit by Babbage. Hartford will try and clear it. Do they? Francis to Quenneville. Tippett clears it all the way down. 1:06 to go in the power play. 2:15 to go in the game. Second line coming in. Courtnall, Courtnall and Lemieux. Robinson and Desjardins. Both teams change. Nobody controls it. Carbonneau and Quenneville along the boards. Kicked over to Lemieux. Anderson steals it. Dineen. Short-handed bid to Anderson. Dineen. One-on-one. Save Hayward. And Hartford calls time. Kevin Dineen with a shorty bid Saved by Hayward. 150 in the game, 41 on the power play. And the Whale have held Montreal without a shot. So following the timeout, Smith, Richer, and Lemieux out there with Chelios and Svoboda. Tippett, Peterson, Babbage, and Olfi. For the Whale, the face-off won by Bobby Smith. Chelios up the wing to Svoboda. Over to Smith, over the line to Chelios. Richer has it, slides it over. Svoboda is not who you want shooting here. Guarded by Olfi, scoring chance coming. He shoots, and Liut makes the save. Some pushing and shoving. 90 seconds left. 90 seconds for Montreal to do something. Tippett and Peterson. We think for Hartford. Smith, Lemieux, and Richer. Smith and Peterson. Won by Peterson, and Olfi clears it all the way down. Richer. Closing stages of the game. Lemieux. Power play is over. Montreal will send Hayward to the bench. Richer is on. 1:09 to go. Hayward, Richer. Now Smith over the line. Smith over to Keane. Goes to Richer for the long pass, long right. He fires. Liut with a stick save. Leaves it for Dineen. 54 seconds to go. Olfi. Dineen. Empty netter. Scores! Kevin Dineen scores!
Hartford goal scored by Kevin Dineen, his 13th of the season, assisted by ULF Samuelsson, time of the goal 19 minutes 13 seconds.
Montreal calls time. But the Whale, Kevin Dineen, a goal and an assist tonight. He had 2 goals against Quebec in his last game. Hayward comes back out. Smith, Keane, Naslund, Chelios, and Robinson, but Hartford is going to get the points tonight unless all heck breaks loose in the next 47 seconds. Ferraro and Smith, won by Ferraro. To Dean, all the way down. Now they'll pull the goalie again. For Richer, 42 seconds to go. Keane, over to Chelios. Back to Keane at center, to Chelios, to Richer. Now Smith, it took a long time to get in the zone. Chelios will get the pass. 30 seconds to go. Chelios, a slapper. Chelios, blocked by Babbage. Smith, behind the net. 23 seconds, they got to cycle it. Robinson has to shoot. 18 seconds. Fires, blocked by Cote. Smith, behind the net. Naslund, left side, Naslund, 5 seconds to go. He fires, scores! Stick side high.
Montreal goal scored by number 26, Mats Naslund, his 14th of the season, assisted by number 15, Bobby Smith, and by number 19, Larry Robinson. Time of the goal 19 minutes 55 seconds.
So there is 5.3 left on the clock. Liut got beat stick side high, his 14th of the year for Naslund, Smith, and Robinson. And so all Ron Francis has to do is win the face-off. Dave is pacing around like an expectant father wearing his Whale jersey. Francis and Smith. Won by Francis, and that's the ball game. So the Whalers get the 2 points. They outshoot Montreal 13-7 in the third. Montreal 6-3 in scoring chances. They blocked 5 to. Yeah, you did say 4-3. You said Montreal though. And Hartford went 1 for 1 on the power play, and that was the difference. So 4 goals in the third period. Francis, his 9th of the year from Dineen and Babbage. Then Lemieux made it 4-2 or 3-2. His 13th from McPhee and Svoboda. Kevin Dineen with the empty netter at 19-13 to make it 4-2, and Naslund with a garbage time goal with 5 seconds to go. Overall, shots 29-23 in favor of Hartford. Faceoffs won 30-29 in favor of Hartford. They hit Montreal. Montreal missed shots. Your 3 stars for the night. Number 3 with a goal, Ray Ferraro. Number 2 with a goal and assist, Kevin Dineen. And your number 1 star, presented by Ames, is Ron Francis with a goal and an assist. So, Hartford wins this one tonight. Let's show you the rest of the night in hockey. Quebec beat Buffalo 5-4. Huff with a hat trick. Stasny with 3 assists, and Walt Podubny with a goal. A wild one at Northlands. Vancouver beat Edmonton 6-5. Peterson 2 goals and an assist. Mark Messier 2 goals and assist for Edmonton, and Mr. Simpson 2 goals and an assist. And a big night for Super Mario with that new contract. He is the number 1 star. It's Pittsburgh beats Washington 5-3. So, standings: Detroit by 4 on the Norris. Calgary by 3 over Winnipeg and the Smythe. Montreal by 12 over Boston. Hartford now has 24 points. Pittsburgh by 1 over Philadelphia. Our next game will be next Monday night from the Forum in Montreal. It'll be the Habs and the Sabres. So here are your leaders. Mario Lemieux's 3 points gives him 55. That leads the NHL. He leads the NHL in goals with 26 over Yzerman. Gretzky has 32 assists. That's 3 more than Mario. Dave Manson, 93 penalty minutes, leads the NHL. And Peter Sidorkiewicz leads in goals against average with a 2.72. He leads Patrick Waugh. So there you have it. So we'll be with you next Monday night. Baseball tomorrow, Brooklyn and St. Louis. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time. Good night, everybody.